Welcome to our podcast, Može Kafa. We are Ivana
and Maki,
your host. In this podcast, we discuss interesting details about Serbian language and culture from a learner's and teacher's perspective.
We offer new and fun resources for learners of Serbian. To follow each episode with annotated script, vocabulary, and quizzes, join us also at Može Kafa Podcast on Instagram. So if you're ready, grab a cup of coffee and enjoy the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. I think this is our 7th episode, and we are so excited about it. And today, Ivana, say hi first.
Oh, hello, zdravo, dobar dan. Kako ste?
Dobro sam. A ti?
Super, danas super. I'm great.
Okay, great. So today we picked a very interesting topic, especially for me, because I had no idea about this part of Serbian culture. Eating posna or posni. I'm not sure about it. Posno. Because I hear at the restaurants as posni, posna, posno. So we will talk about it. What is posno?
Exactly.
Ivana?
What is posno? So, I was discussing this with my family last night because it's a thing. It's a religious fast. So you're fasting, you can do it religiously, but also it's just part of our culture. And you don't necessarily have to be very religious. Maybe you just want to cleanse your body in a way. And it doesn't include dairy products and eggs, and also meat. But you can eat fish.
Yes, this is what I heard.
And, exactly. And in comparison to vegetarianism, or especially actually veganism, you can eat honey. So honey and fish are allowed. But of course, you're gonna, So because it can vary for different people. Some people maybe don't even eat fish, But I think in its core meaning, so dairy, meat, and eggs are not allowed.
Okay. So posno, is it like a verb or adjective or noun?
Or it can be used as an adjective. This is like a food is posno, right?
I see it. Okay, good. We will have some dialogue about it, and I will understand how to use it in a sentence. So what kind of food can be found as posno is my first question. I already know a couple of them.
Okay, I wanted your first experience. You to tell me, and then I will tell you as everything they can find. Of course, I don't know everything because I've never done it. But now that I'm vegan, this is actually very useful to me. So I was
Definitely.
like, oh, amazing. Okay, what can you find that's possible?
So first of all, here I wasn't going into bakeries because everything had milk, cream, or eggs in it. So I didn't know any vegan bakery that existed here.
There wasn't...
But then my friends told me. Yeah?
No, and you didn't have our podcast to learn about it, so
Of course. Nobody told me. And then, luckily, gevrek, I met. The first posno food, I think, was for me, gevrek. That is simit in Turkish.
Yes.
It looks like simit. You have a different shape, but the taste is quite similar.
How do you say it in Turkish?
Simit.
Is it or simit?
Simit. With E.
Simit. Okay.
In some regions, they use gevrek as well. But in most cities, we have simit. And pogača.
Pogača.
I don't know if you call it pogača.
Yes.
Pogača. Yes. I realized that pogača can be posna as well here.
Yes.
It was a big surprise for me. Because in Turkey, it can't be.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, in the bakeries.
But it's interesting. Maybe in one of the episodes, I would really like to learn something about your culture, because you also do fasting for a while. As far as I know, you can do that. So yeah, but you can find. You can always use is this posno for everything, just to ask, and in bakeries, and usually, especially during that time when we are fasting, the big long fasts. That's especially when they have it. But I think even today, I went and I bought posno, pogačica posno. Actually, it was, how is this called? Now I forgot the phyllo dough. It's like the layered dough. And I bought that in the form of a stick, kind of, like a longer.
Oh.
Yeah. So I bought that, and that was, for example, posno. So you can
That's
find,
great.
yeah, in the store you can find pogačice, which is like smaller, the same thing, like layered dough, but they're small. So pogačica
I
is
see.
the little pogača. That's how it's like the word. That's what it basically means.
I
Then you
see.
can find burek, can also be posno.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely. I ate burek on the first day of January.
What did you eat?
It was a vegan burek. It was burek from a bakery here, Posno burek. It had potatoes and mushrooms in it, I guess.
Exactly. So mushrooms. Wow, I've never tried it with mushrooms. That's amazing. You even have better food offers.
I think in the south mushrooms are used a lot because there are lots of mountains and people always pick mushrooms here. So it's very easy to find mushrooms in every season here.
Oh, wow. Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. Here I have bacon. No, but so we have I was thinking of which type of burek, or we are also, you're gonna hear the word pita as well, and for us it's not pita bread, it's pretty much the same as burek, but it depends on what it is with. So some of people can say burek with burek sa krompirom, which is burek with potatoes, but you can say pita sa krompirom or pita krompirusha. This is like the name for that pie, krompirusha. It's a noun. So
like a female noun to me.
So you can have it with find it with potatoes, with cabbage, with apples. Depends on where you are, of course. But these are like some of the ingredients. I think you can maybe find it with spinach also. So that's
true.
Yeah, and then let me think about it. That's in bakeries where you can find. But if you're in a cafe or in a restaurant, then you can find usually like they also have like some sandwiches with with the posno bread or posno dough.
And vegetables in it.
And we use we say it's vegan cheese, but it's plant-based cheese, which is bilni sir. Sir is cheese.
Bilni sir.
And bilni it's a cheaper version of cheese, and people used to buy it when maybe the cheese was more expensive, or maybe if you are fasting, or I don't go to the store and say vegan cheese. I say bilni sir, so it's a normal thing.
Bilni sir. I have never heard of it. But what do they use in this cheese? Like plants or beans, maybe soya?
I think you asked me this one more time, and I think I didn't have the answer to that. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to check it, but I don't know. I don't know. But some sort of, it should be like cheese. Bilni sir, I think it's like more. It should be fatty, right? Cheese is fatty, so some sort of fat from some sort of.
Maybe nuts they use.
Maybe nuts. Yeah, and then you can also find. Do you know Pavlaka?
I heard it, but I can't remember what it was.
So I find it also very difficult to explain in English. It's basically kind of like sour cream. It's like yogurt, but a bit thicker. And we use it to put it on top of bread. So we don't have as many types of dairy as maybe some northern Scandinavian countries have. Even in Germany, there's so many different types of dairy products. But we have, one of the important ones is Pavlaka. And you can find Bilna Pavlaka. There you go.
I'm so happy that you guys have different names for like this plant-based foods. Yes. That's really nice.
My mom, actually not my mom, my sister uses it for some of her cakes, like Bilna Pavlaka, or maybe neutralna Pavlaka, which means it's neutral. It's not too sweet, it's not too salty, Some of it can also be Bilna, so usually I think it is, but you have to check it. So these are some of the things that you can find. So these are some of the things that you can use. Also, you can sometimes find pizza with Bilni sir again.
Yeah.
Or if you go to the mayo. You can also find
like mayonnaise.
Yeah, you can also find plant-based mayo.
Bilni mayo? What is it?
Bilni. Well, I don't know how they say it. Mayonnaise, but I'm guessing Bilni mayonnaise. Something like
so
that.
Nice.
You can say Bilni mayonnaise, or Posni mayonnaise. Actually, probably.
Posni mayonnaise. Okay.
And then you can find ayvar, which you know about.
Ayvar, yes, a big part of my breakfast.
Is it really?
Yes. I always have a jar in my fridge.
Oh, I never liked it.
I like the
when I was
taste.
younger.
Really?
But I think I didn't like it because I think we add like, sometimes it can be spicy. It doesn't have to be, but it can. I'm not good at spicy food. And then I think also you add garlic, as if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't used to like garlic. But now we sometimes buy it in Germany. Imagine in Germany, I buy it now. And my boyfriend loves it.
You can find everything.
Yes. So you have that. But if you want to go to the store and then buy something like sweet, then there's keks, which is, keks. It's we use keks for any type of cookies, basically. Any type of like biscuits, cookies. This is for us keks. And so Posni keks. There you go.
Like, it's not plural, it's the name keks.
Keks
right?
is just the name for, it's a masculine noun for cookies. And so that's why it's Posni, because E is for, so this version is for masculine nouns. So you can always find Posni keks. The one that I always use, or I always buy when I come here, obviously you can find also, like, dark chocolate is usually vegan and Posno, but you have to check it. But I always go to, I always buy ishleri, which is a type.
What is it?
It's a type of cookies again. But in between you have a filling, chocolate or like actually a vanilla filling, and the biscuits are very soft and like they're not dry. They're not like typical dry cookies. And
when it comes to biscuits, sorry to interrupt, but I need to mention plasma because when we came here, everybody was eating plasma. They were talking about plasma, but it wasn't vegan, so I couldn't eat it. Everybody loves it here. You can find it even in the smallest stores, in big supermarket chains, everywhere. So when the Christmas time arrived, then Plasma had the vegan version, and I'm really happy about it.
Yes.
It's too dry. It's not like my favorite kind of biscuit, but still, to have a local vegan biscuit made me really happy.
Plasma should sponsor us once, because plasma is essential. I mean, it's this thing that you eat always. The babies eat it. Adults eat it. It's thought to be so healthy. You eat it when you are sick. There's no time when you cannot eat it. And it's that one item in Serbia, like a product that is authentic Serbian in a way. So plasma, exactly. That's there's also plasma cake. Like, this is how popular the cookies or biscuits actually are. Have you heard about medeno srce?
Medeno srce. Srce is black, but I don't know medeno.
I know, srce is heart.
Heart. Sorry. Yes, that's true. No, I don't know what it is.
Medeno srce is a type of, again, cookies that you can find, and I even find them in Germany. So I'm guessing that maybe they're not like authentic to Serbia, but they're in the shape of a heart, and they are this in the middle you have some sort of like jam, so it can be like with peach, like from peach or from
strawberry.
Actually, it's a apricot. I think it's usually apricot, but you can also find strawberry or whatever. And from the outside, it's covered with chocolate. So it's a chocolate heart that's filled in the middle, and that's like we call it medeno srce.
Well, it sounds tasty,
and
I will try it.
It's really tasty. Really, that I bought it. I bought ishleri. I have, like, every time I go to Serbia, I'm like, I'm so happy that I have so many options here, and I know where to go. So yeah, that's something you can also find. But I'm sure that there's so many more. There are many more items that you can buy in a store.
I'm sure, and they are creating new ones all the time.
And you make sure to read the ingredients. If you see mleko, which is milk, that's not what you should eat.
And sir,
exactly, or jaja, which is eggs. These are things that they don't want to have in your item. Yeah.
And I want to add another favorite food of mine in the restaurants. I can find it. Prebranac.
Yes, I actually wrote it down. Yeah, prebranac, yes.
Yeah,
You,
prebranac. Okay.
So that's a type of beans that's cooked and then put in the oven, as far as I remember.
It has just two ingredients, I guess, like onions and beans. Slowly cooked in the oven. I guess some spices as well, maybe, but it's so plain. I like the taste.
You know, my family. Well, my mom hasn't made it that often, so I can't tell you the exact recipe. I would say check the recipe online, but yeah, it's something that is Posno as well. And no, actually, for Christmas you have a type of dough which is called or bread which is called Chesnica, and that is.
I ate Chesnica.
You did? Did you make it?
Yes, yesterday.
Oh, cool.
No, my friend invited me for a Christmas dinner, and it was so good. The table was decorated as you said, the tree leaves and candle and wine and everything. It was perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's amazing. And then you told her, I know everything. I know all the customs.
Yes. I was trying to find the coin inside, but it was not me who found it.
Who was it? Your friend?
Another friend, okay. Yes.
Anyway. And then Posno is very interesting. I saw that you wrote it down for Slava, right?
Because a couple of followers of ours asked in our Instagram page, like, can you explain Slava more? It sounds really interesting, especially people from other countries have no idea about it because Orthodox tradition is not that common in their countries, so they want to know about it. And I thought we can summarize what it is.
You know, I was I know it's a big deal in Serbia. Slava is such a big holiday for us. By the way, you can have many different types of Slavas. It doesn't have to be on one particular date. But then I read a bit more about it to understand because, you know, I didn't really know the origins. And the origins are basically, this is what it's thought, that because before we were pagan and we had many gods and we looked at our ancestors as gods and we tried to pay tribute to them, and it's something that got stuck and it kind of just became Christianized, adopted in a way because it was such a big deal, and we've been doing it since 1,000 years already, or actually for 1,000 years already. It's like we've been doing this Slava thing, you know, and it became an Orthodox tradition. And what you do basically, you don't pick one saint because it is it's on your father's line. You inherit it in a way that Slava. So we have different types of saints. You're celebrating basically saints. So the most famous one is Sveti Nikola. Which is also called as Nikoldan. Dan is day, so the day of Nikola. Then you have different Archangel Mihailo, Sveti Jovan, Đurđev Dan. There's like I think like 70 or 80 saints, and you are celebrating the saint, but you're celebrating all of those people, your ancestors that celebrated through your family that same saint.
I see.
So you're basically paying respect to
your ancestors.
You're remembering them. It's like this bloodline that, and in a way, actually, it's funny because this is how you identified who your relative is based on Slava. That's how you can identify and know which side you are on. And if you're a guy, then you inherit, you continue the bloodline in a sense and continue with celebrating Slava. If you are a woman, you can still keep celebrating it, but if you get married, you take your husband's Slava.
I see. Okay. But do you celebrate it on only one day, or is it like a week, or does it change from Slava to Slava?
So we currently, we celebrate it for only one day because it's if you're working, then you get only one day off. So you get a day off for Slava because it's like this feast, you know, that you have to prepare. Yeah. But before, you could have done it and it was like for several days. I don't think that's possible currently because people are working and they need to work. But it was, before it could have been
Longer.
There's also a movie called Ivkova Slava. So you can maybe... I haven't watched it, to be honest. I'm sorry. I know I haven't watched every Serbian movie, but it's
you can't.
Yeah, and it's a thing that it was celebrated for a couple of days. So yeah.
And as for food, Slavas are divided into two, right? Posna Slava and Mrsna Slava. Yes. Because I was so curious about it, as many of our followers. Yes. It sounds really good. So which one do you think is more common, Mrsna Slava or Posna Slava?
To be honest, I don't really know what is more common. I can tell you that the people that I know in my area, they mostly celebrate Mrsna Slava. It's the day when you go and eat and like properly eat like a pig. So, but yeah, I heard only later in life I heard about my friends or like their families having Posna Slava. But when you have Posna Slava, then again, all the rules apply as before, as we said, no meat, no dairy. So it's usually fish-based, as far as I know.
I see.
But of course, you can also do away without fish. So,
as for Christmas dinner, my friend prepared like this Slava dinner. She also added meat, but she said there are 4 elements that you need to have on table on Christmas. Is it the same in your region?
Which 4 elements?
A Slava cake or bread, I guess. Candle, red wine, and cooked wheat.
You don't necessarily have to have these, of course, but this is the tradition. So it will be nice to, to follow it. Another thing that you can do is you can... when you take that Slava bread, you can ask someone from the church to stop by and then to kind of like, bless it. That's the word that was, oh my God, blocked. But yeah, to bless it. So usually you do that on that day before you start eating and everything. So because now it's blessed, and then, actually my sister now does it because of her husband, but we here didn't used to do that. And then there's a prayer that you can say, and it can be someone also from your family. When I was younger, it's not a prayer, it's just a kind of like
wish.
Yeah, a wish. Yeah, it's not a prayer that you put your hands together and you pray on your own. It's kind of like you recite it together, and that's the kind of a ritual, and it's called Oče naš. Oče naš, which means our Father. So, our Father in the sky.
Okay, thank you for sharing this all this different kind of information. Let's have some role play now, because I'm like I told you in the beginning, I'm confused about Posna, Posno, Posni, because in a restaurant when I went like before the New Year, I asked like, Posna pizza, do you have imate li Posna pizza? And the guy corrected me, it's Posni. And I was like, okay, let me ask Ivana about it.
Okay. Oh, that is actually tricky, because you have to think about cases as well. But I will separate it into like the gender of the noun, right? So actually, pizza is feminine. So you would say Posna pizza.
I was right.
Well, slightly, because when you asked it, the noun, because you were asking for something, so you're asking for the object, and that should be in accusative, and that would be imate li posnu pizzu.
Oh, both of us were wrong.
Exactly. Okay. So
let me try. Imate li posnu pizzu.
Posnu pizzu.
Pizza becomes pizzu as well. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. And then you have. Do you have anything posno?
Yes, this is what I was going to ask.
Da li imate nešto posno?
Da li imate nešto posno?
Posno. Or you can. So there are different ways. Da li is a proper way of asking something. So that's the question word. But you can say imate li, as you used it before. Imate li nešto posno?
Okay, imate li nešto posno?
So if you want to ask about something and you don't really know what that is it pizza? Is it like you don't use a proper like a noun? Then it's posno. But if you know a noun, if you want to say sir, da li imate posni sir? Posni is in that form because sir is masculine. So Posna is pizza, right? Because it's feminine, and Posni is sir because it's masculine. But if you want to, but if you just ask in general, and then it's Posno.
I see. Now when you say sir, maybe because I was asking about the cheese on top, and maybe he was meaning like to say about cheese, not the pizza itself. Okay.
Or instead of saying imate li posni sir, imate li biljni sir.
Biljni sir, that's more cool.
Exactly.
Yes. And how about asking? You don't see anything on the menu, like Posno. Maybe you can ask the waitress, like, can you make that dish, Posna? Like, can you take the cheese out?
Actually, that would be a very complicated sentence now that I think about it for beginners.
Or is the shortcut, može Posno?
Actually, yeah.
Može that also.
Može to da bude Posno. Can that be Posno? Može to, can that?
That's great.
Da bude Posno.
Da bude Posno. Good.
Exactly. So
we found the shortcut.
Yeah. Or you just ask može biljni sir instead of
Da, imam biljni sir.
Oh yeah. Do you have like plant-based cheese? Da li imate biljni sir? Yeah.
Okay, that's great. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I have one more question before we go. Does Posno mean always something related to food, or does it mean also something else? Because I heard a sentence, I read a sentence as well.
Tell me, because I don't know. Yeah.
That was može zima da bude Posna.
Oh, who said that?
I don't remember. We were talking about the weather and the change of the climate, and so I think it was about like having a mild winter.
I would never, me personally, but I would like to hear everyone else listening, if you're from Serbia, if you know Serbian, I would never use it in a context that's not food related, that's not related to to fasting. So but I come from one part of Serbia, so some other people maybe use something else, and I might learn something new about my language, but I would personally never use it. I asked my family, they're like, no, what are you talking about? But we just heard what we heard in our area.
Okay. Okay. The other people who have heard of it or used it in a different context, please let us know how you use it. And I will ask my friends, of course. Okay.
That was a lot of information.
I think that's it. That was. And thank you. I'm enlightened with this episode.
There you go. I think you've learned some of vocabulary. I think you've learned some cultural aspects, something about Slava, something about fasting overall. There's so much to say, actually, but we want to keep this as short as we can and as comprehensive. So we're going to stop here. But let us know if you want to learn something more about Slavas, if you want to learn something more about food in Serbia overall. There's so much to say.
You can always email us or write us on Instagram, and we will be happy to see your comments and make an episode on them.
And our next episode is going to be on
feelings.
Exactly. Expressing feelings, which is love, anger, annoyance, sadness, whatever. And we'll see how we're going to help you how to express yourself in Serbian.
Yes.
There you go.
In a Serbian way. Okay, thank you. Hvala puno. Ivana.
Pozdrav.
Prijetno. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our podcast and learned something new.
In case you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, make sure to share them on our Instagram page, Može Kafa Podcast. Prijetno!